I've stayed at every single Disney World hotel. It's taken me years to do, but that's a lot of hotel rooms. Today, I'm gonna be revealing the worst of the worst. Basically, the hotel rooms that I would never pay to stay in. First up, the Little Mermaid rooms at Art of Animation. Art of Animation is an extremely popular hotel. It's on the Skyliner, and most of the rooms at this hotel are family suites. All of the rooms very heavily themed, some to Cars, some to Lion King, some to The Little Mermaid, and some to Finding Nemo. Now, besides The Little Mermaid, all of those rooms are family suites. Multiple bathrooms, enough room to sleep 6, and they're not too expensive, so it's one of the most affordable ways that larger families can stay. But beware the Little Mermaid rooms, beware. Like the rest of Art of Animation, the Little Mermaid rooms are very heavily themed. They're super cute. If you got a kid that loves Little Mermaid, you might be tempted. But they definitely can feel outdated. All of the rooms at Art of Animation can feel a little bit outdated if you look closely, but with the large family suites, the rooms are big enough and exciting enough that you don't notice. You notice a little more in the Little Mermaid rooms. They also are on the small end, and they're far from everything. Like, you are gonna have to walk so far. They're far from the Skyliner, they're far from the lobby, they're far from the pools. They're just in this far off, distant land of the Little Mermaid rooms. Now, with all of these hotel rooms, that's not to say you should never book them. There might be a reason that you want to book them. For instance, with this room, if you've got a family that loves Little Mermaid so much, you might consider this. You also might consider the newly refurbished Little Mermaid rooms at Disney's Caribbean Beach. There are relatively newly reimagined rooms at Caribbean Beach that are themed to Little Mermaid as well, so that's an option that will be newer, more updated, and that resort is also on the Skyliner. But still, there might be a reason to book these rooms. Just from my experience and the reviews of others, they're not the best options. But in this case, with the Little Mermaid rooms at Art of Animation, the pros are there's great theming. There's lots of cute and colorful details. The theming might be a little much for some people, but if you love Ariel, these rooms are great. They're also budget friendly. This is a value resort, so the Little Mermaid rooms offer a more affordable option for guests. Is it the most affordable? No, that's over at the All-Stars. But it is a more affordable option. It still gets you on the Skyliner. I would just recommend Pop Century instead, just across the way. And speaking of Skyliner, that's our final pro. The cons are that these relatively small rooms can feel outdated compared to other options. Pretty much all of the standard rooms at value hotels have been updated more recently than these. So if you want just a regular hotel room, you can stay at a different value. Family suite, Art of Animation. Regular room, any other value resort. Of course, it's far from the transportation in the lobby, and there are some noise concerns due to thin walls. You might be able to hear your neighbors, for instance, or kids playing outside. All right, let's get dicey, okay? Let's get spicy. I don't know if everyone's gonna agree with me on this one, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Riviera Resort Tower Studios. Disney's Riviera Resort is a beautiful hotel that is themed after Walt's trips to Europe. It's definitely on the more expensive side as Disney hotels go because it is a Disney Vacation Club resort. That's Disney's timeshare program. So people with the timeshare can pay with points, whereas if you don't have the timeshare, you can either rent points through a third party or you can pay in cash, and the cash prices are expensive. Regardless, beautiful hotel with some rooms that do land us on this list, specifically the Tower Studios. Even though these rooms are expensive, they are among the smallest rooms on Disney property. They're designed to maximize space efficiency. They can only sleep 2, so they are for couples pretty much only, and the 2 are sleeping in the same bed. So they're very small rooms. The bed is also your couch, and it's a Murphy bed, so if you want couch sitting space, you have to put your bed down, put it back up, do that. And the thing that always makes me laugh about these rooms is the bathrooms are gorgeous and huge, and it really does feel like the bathroom's about the size of the Tower Studio. Now, that said, the rooms are beautifully appointed. The beds are extremely comfortable, there are outdoor patios or balconies, and the design of the Riviera rooms is truly beautiful and feels very upscale. It's just really hard to justify this price for such a small hotel room. So the pros here, the modern design. It is the newest Disney hotel, at least until the upcoming Lakeshore Lodge is completed. And it is also conveniently located on the Skyliner. The cons are that the size of this room is just overpriced for its compact size, and that's why I just don't recommend paying for it. If you have the DVC points, yes, If you don't, no. Also, compared to some other DVC rooms, there's a lack of kitchen and there's very limited storage space, so it can certainly feel inconvenient. Now, regular Disney hotel rooms don't really have kitchen amenities either, but the DVC ones do, and this is an exception. Ooh, I obviously made this list. I agree with all of these, but Saratoga Springs is up next on our list. Now, this one's kind of complicated, I'll explain, but this is a resort that offers a very tranquil setting with a Victorian theme inspired by upstate New York. The resort is known to be very clean, it's got very well-maintained grounds, but it's also a DVC resort and can feel overpriced for the room size and the amenities. It's also sprawling. If you watch my Saratoga Springs tour on the channel, you will see that I literally got lost. And I ended up wandering around the golf course, which was not my intention. Now, there's a catch here. My family sometimes chooses to stay at Saratoga Springs, and that's because if you are to rent Disney Vacation Club points or use Disney Vacation Club points, you can actually get these rooms for a steal. And Saratoga Springs has very large rooms. My family is 2 adult children and their respective partners and my parents. So a pretty big room is the only way we're going to be comfortable, and Saratoga Springs fits the bill. But there are a lot of rooms at Saratoga Springs that are just regular hotel rooms that are not my favorite. The one that I stayed in my tour of Saratoga Springs was dark, poorly laid out, and had extremely out-of-date furnishings. Like the TV was okay, but it was so small. I mean, it was weird. It was weird. The pros here are that this hotel does have a really relaxing atmosphere, and it is the closest hotel to Disney Springs. You can walk, so it makes it really easy to have access to a ton of shopping and dining. But the cons are that it's huge and confusing. It says easy to accidentally get lost in a golf course. Maybe, okay, maybe. The Victorian theme can also feel a little bit bland compared to some of the bigger Disney theme options. And it's expensive. If you're paying cash, this hotel is just pricey. Oh, I'm about to say another spicy one. You guys, sit down. Sit down if you're standing. I don't know why you would be watching this standing up, but if you are, sit down. Disney's Contemporary Resort. Disney's Contemporary Resort is a modern hotel known for its iconic A-frame design, and it has the monorail running through the building. Beloved historic hotel. It is an opening day Disney World hotel, and you know what? I love it. You love it? Probably, maybe, I don't know. Some people hate it. I love it. But I do think we have to keep in mind that the rooms are there's some issue with the rooms. There are incredible themed rooms here. Not incredible rooms, Incredibles themed rooms. This one does kind of walk a line because the rooms are recently updated and appointed very nicely. I really like the way these rooms are appointed. They look good. They are comfortable to be in. It feels, like there's a lot of space, there's a lot of amenities. However, a lot of folks, myself included, and I didn't want to be this way, but a lot of us think that the Incredibles rooms feel a little cheesy for the price that you're paying, not really luxury. When I saw these rooms at first, everyone was hating on them and saying that was too cheesy for the Contemporary. And I was like, you know what? I love the Contemporary, I love the Incredibles, and I love a theme. So I love the rooms. I love them. Then I stayed in one, and it did feel a little bit like I had walked into an issue of Pottery Barn Teen. Still comfortable, still well appointed. It's just that the theme does feel a little disjointed from the otherwise luxury feeling of the Contemporary. Of course, this one is a little bit more on the fence. There are a lot of pros here. You are walking distance to Magic Kingdom. The monorail goes through the Grand Concourse. You can get on it inside the building. The architecture is beautiful and a standout iconic feature. It's historic, and there are a wide range of amenities. The cons are just that it's very expensive and the rooms can feel disappointing for the price. If you love the Incredibles or you are willing to overlook a pretty intense theme, these rooms are great. But it's just something to be aware of and why a lot of people are very anti-Incredibles rooms. Okay, this one also comes with a caveat, but it's important to share. The All-Star Standard rooms. Objectively, Disney sells these as their worst rooms because they're the cheapest. These are Disney's value hotels. There's 3 of them, one themed to movies, one themed to sports, and one themed to music. And the rooms are very affordable accommodations, and around the hotel you see oversized super fun theming. The standard rooms are compact and basic. They are the most compact rooms that Disney has. They are small and they are basic when it comes to the amenities, but they serve as the best budget-friendly option for guests and kind of the only budget-friendly option. These hotel rooms are still pricey at usually around $200 per night, but that's a lot more reasonable than any other Disney hotel. So even though these rooms technically are the worst, they still serve a very important purpose. The pros of the All-Stars, the biggest pro, of course, is the price. This is why when I pay for my own Disney World trips, I'm in an All-Star, baby. Me and my brother share in an All-Star room. And also, the theming at the All-Stars is really fun. Some other hotels, like Saratoga Springs, won't feel to kids like they have a really cool theme going on. This hotel will. So if you've got little ones, there are giant, big things for them to look at, which is fun and themed and cool. The cons, lack of amenities, small rooms, and perhaps the biggest complaint I see about All-Stars, the walls are so thin. You can hear everything in these hotels, and they tend to play host to school groups or cheerleading competition groups. And that can mean a lot of tweens, a lot of teens. And look, I was a tween girl and a teen girl. And you want to know what was true about me in those times? I was loud and high-pitched. And that will come right through your wall. Oh yeah. Next one. This is my personal... I have such mixed feelings about this hotel because I often want to call it my least favorite hotel, which is kind of true, but with the updated rooms, it might not be anymore, and I do really love the amenities here, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, but we're talking about Caribbean Beach. If you're wondering why my arm is doing this, it's because I'm playing tug of war with my dog, because you can't not have attention for 25 minutes while I film this. Is that right? Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort offers a tropical setting with colorful buildings and sandy beaches. The resort is relaxing and quiet, but very spread out. I've been in a room before where it took me like 15 minutes to walk to the lobby, and I'm a very fast walker. Now, these rooms have been updated. I used to have a big issue with these rooms, feeling very out of date, but they have had updates. So now, you've got kind of that middle of the road room, a relaxing atmosphere, a good amount of amenities and dining. The pool bar here, as well as Sebastian's Bistro, are real standouts around all of Disney World. And you've got Skyliner access. The reason why these are some of the worst rooms is because they are very spread out, and it might feel a little generic or disappointing to some folks. I've seen that as a report. Overall, I think this one is kind of a safer option at this point. Skyliner's nice, the dining is nice. It's just, if you have mobility concerns, I would be wary of this hotel. A lot of the buildings also don't have elevators. So just a warning, the spread and the elevators kind of make these some of the worst rooms, just because that's not fun. Even if you don't have mobility concerns after you've walked a million kabillion steps in Magic Kingdom, you don't want to walk another million kabillion to your room. Before we go to our final two, which are a little bit different and very important to know that they exist, let me give you a little bit of the inside scoop on the best hotels at Disney World. I've stayed at every hotel, and our team is made up of all kinds of people who have stayed at a ton of different hotels, and we have put our noggins together to create a list of the best 10 Disney hotels and explaining why and when they might be right for you or not. If that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and head to AllEars.net/hotel or scan this QR code, and you'll be able to get our free guide to the best hotels. Free. I love free. That's why I make YouTube videos, because all I watch is YouTube videos. All right, ready? I told you it was going to be kind of a different angle. Bathtubless rooms. If you're going to Disney World with anybody who takes baths, or especially anyone who needs a bathtub, like young kiddos where you can't really bathe them as effectively in a shower that's stand-up, then you need to be aware that not all Disney rooms have bathtubs. There are bathtubless rooms to be found at Coronado Springs Resort, Yacht and Beach Club, Riviera Resort, Contemporary Resort, and Wilderness Lodge. These will have walk-in showers instead, but no tub. If you are staying at one of these hotels and you need a bathtub, call the hotel in advance and get them to note that on your reservation, and they will do their absolute best to accommodate you. If you show up and you find that you do not have a bathtub and you need one, head to the front desk and explain your situation. Disney is all about making sure the guest has the experience that will make them happy and has all their needs met, so go talk to the front desk and they'll do their best to help you out. That said, if having a bathtub isn't a concern for you, you do get these modern walk-in showers that offer a more sleek contemporary look, and it can make the bathroom feel a little bit bigger. But of course, that is very inconvenient for families. And we've touched a bit on this, but the final worst hotel room is any room that is noisy. No matter where you stay on property, there are going to be some rooms that are better than others from a noise perspective. Some Disney resort rooms are located on areas prone to noise, such as near pools, transportation hubs, or common areas. If you have light sleepers, whether that's kiddos or you, and especially if you think you're going to be wanting to take a nap during the day, then there are going to be some rooms that are going to be pretty undesirable. Things to watch out for. any room that faces out to a pool, any room that faces out to a large common area or a lobby area. Contemporary is especially bad if you have one of those rooms on the inside. That grand concourse can get loud. And you need to keep an eye out for construction. Now, Disney will note construction on the hotel page on their website, so keep an eye out to look for any construction going on because it can get noisy. I was trying to have a conversation at Grand Floridian recently. I couldn't even think straight because there was just like a drill or like a jackhammer in my brain because they're just doing so much construction over there. Similar to the bathtubs, if you do find yourself having an issue with this, talk to Disney. Go ahead and call in advance and let them know you would like a quieter room. They know which ones are quiet. They will do their best to make it happen for you. And if it happens during your trip that the noise is just driving you absolutely batty, talk to the front desk. Now, there's no guarantee that the front desk can accommodate room requests, but they will certainly do their best to help you if they're able to accommodate. And if you're nice. Pro tip, if you're nice about things, even if you're frustrated because you just woke up from a nap, just pretend that you're the happiest person in the world and the most cool and easygoing. And I know it'll be an act because when I get woken up from a nap, I'm a monster. But pretend. And often you'll get a little help. Of course, there are some pros to having noisy rooms, which is that they are at convenient locations. You are close to the things that are making a lot of noise, which might be things that you want to do. I sleep like a rock. I can't be awoken by any means, except my own volition. So I don't mind a noisy room because it means I'm really close to stuff and I'm just gonna sleep through all the noise anyway. But that sums up our list of the worst hotel rooms in Disney World. If you've made it this far, please put this secret code in the comments so that I know you made it all the way. And don't forget to subscribe. We upload tips, info, games, and more from Disney World and beyond all week because we here at All Ears are serious about fun. See you next time.